First off, we got to talk about the live action trailer of Disney's Lilo and Stitch. We had seen a teaser for this before, which was just like kind of our animated Stitch character. Now we got the whole thing, baby, and it's just like you remember the animated feature. A rogue alien breaks out of an alien prison and escapes to Earth, crash lands over by Hawaii, where he meets a young girl named Lilo, who adopts him as a dog and starts taking him around the island until his alien captors show up to take him back. And Lilo and her sister Nani have to fight the aliens and hopefully save their family, because Ohana means family. Family is Lilo and Stitch. Live action trailer looks okay. I think if I was a child, this would probably rip. You know what I mean? But for me as an adult, I just feel like I've seen the old one. It just looks a whole lot samey. Andy, what do you think?
I'm definitely not the target audience for this, but this is slated for Memorial Day this summer, May 23rd or so. It's going to hit big that weekend, kind of like the Little Mermaid did a couple of years ago. I think it'll do fine. The trailer is just not interesting to me. I've actually never seen the original because at a certain point you age out of Disney movies. The 90s ones were the ones that I grew up with, but then this came out, I was like a teenager and going off to college, and so it's just kind of after my time at this point. So I've just never been interested in the property. It looks fine. It looks like family, fun family fare. Like take grandma, take the kids. Everyone will have a good time, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think so. I do want to say the next trailer is something that if you went and saw Mickey 17 in theaters, you might have seen or been looking forward to. It's the teaser for The Life of Chuck. It's the new Mike Flanagan feature, right? Mike Flanagan over on Netflix, Midnight Mass Mike Flanagan, and Haunting of Hill House Mike Flanagan, Dr. Sleep director Mike Flanagan, right? He did that last Exorcist movie, or he's doing the next one. But this is what he's working on in the meantime. Life of Chuck is based on a Stephen King short story, and I don't know a lot about it. It's really simple imagery in here. We've got some galaxy shots. We've got some shots of an EKG meter. We've got some reminders of author Stephen King and his work in Green Mile. And of course, we've got Chuck, played by, who is this man? Tom Hiddleston, who's playing Charles Chuck Krantz, who I don't know a lot about, but I know that the story is, quote from IMDb, a life-affirming, genre-bending story based on Stephen King's novella about 3 chapters in the life of an ordinary man named Charles Krantz. And a stacked cast list to boot. Let me give you some of these names. Chiwetel Ejiofor, Tom Hiddleston, Karen Gillan, Matthew Lillard, Carl Lumley, Harvey Guillen, Jacob Tremblay, Kate Siegel, Mark Hamill. And let me tell you, that's about all we know about the life of Chuck. It's odd, and I'm curious to know more. This thing's supposed to be great, but for now, this is what we've got. Andy, what do you know about this teaser?
Not much, kind of the same as you. I had actually heard about this on an awards podcast in the fall, and this was actually, I thought this was maybe coming out this year, but it's not. It's going to be one of these summer things. But this is supposed to be an awards contender. It is not a horror property, even though that's what Stephen King's most well known for. But he's also done great things like The Green Mile, The Shawshank Redemption, which are not horror stories outright. And so I don't know anything about this. The trailer is the teaser is very enigmatic. I'll be interested to see. Apparently it's supposed to be kind of mind blowing though.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I love Flanagan. I'll pretty much go see anything that guy does at this point. So I'm a little more skeptical that based on a story by Stephen King. My God, if I had a nickel for every time I saw something that was based on a story from Stephen King, you know what I mean? Loaded with Stephen King. What's next?
F1. We finally got a full trailer for the F1 movie that's coming out this June, starring Brad Pitt, Harry Condon, and Javier Bardem. Brad Pitt plays Sonny Hayes, who's a washed-up has-been who never was, which seems to always be these kinds of stories. But he's recruited by Javier Bardem. He's to join an F1 racing team and help train the team that they're on. Of course, we get tons of racing footage, shaking in the driver's seat. I almost said cockpit, like it was Top Gun. This looks really exciting. We finally see the characters. He has a rivalry with a younger driver played by Damson Idris. So it's an old guy meets young buck. They got to work it out. They're going to learn from each other, and butt heads, but ultimately work things out. The footage looks amazing. Like I'm gonna be thrown through the cinema screen like when I go see this in D box. I'm super excited about this. This is the dad movie of the year. If you take your dad to see any movie, it's gonna be this one. Buy the D box seat and get shaken in the seat. This looks so much fun.
Yeah, F1 looks awesome. I really got turned on to this movie originally when we heard about Top Gun Maverick director Joseph Kosinski working with F1 to make a film that is just F1 the movie, right? But actually seeing the trailer in IMAX hits so much better, and that was just the teaser. This is a full story trailer. We've got character, we've got plot, we can understand where we're going. This movie looks awesome, dude. I can't wait to go see this on the biggest screen I can find. This looks like movie of the summer kind of stuff, like top 10 year top 10 of 2025 list kind of stuff. So we'll see what comes out of F1. Hopefully nothing but good things. What's next?
Before I get into the Shroud, I just want to say a quick note on the life of Chuck. I saw Mia Sara listed on that ghost. She is the girlfriend in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and I don't
Oh
think I've
yeah,
seen her in anything. So I'm really curious about
Sloan Peterson. Yeah, no.
yeah, Sloan Peterson.
Sloan Peterson. Yeah.
So The Shroud is David Cronenberg's latest feature, which I've heard a little bit about, and we always get excited about Cronenberg because he loves to do the freaky stuff on film. The Shroud stars Vincent Cassel as a man in grief who has developed a company who has developed these death shrouds that they cover someone in their casket, but they have some sort of like camera or something that you can go to a gravesite and actually like look to a monitor and like look at your loved one, kind of see as I guess they deteriorate. So it's some weird kind of Cronenbergian thing, but eventually there's worries that like, hey, this might kind of give things away. It might reveal medical malpractice or something to that the effect. There's a big ethical questions about the shrouds themselves, and that's kind of our setup. It also stars Diane Kruger and Guy Pearce. Real creepy vibes. A mystery. There's people against this whole practice. Vincent Cassel doing great stuff. He's got a great line at the beginning where they're like, he asked him, did you consider cremation? And he was like, how dark do you actually want to get? Like, how close to your dead loved one do you want to be? Because I'm willing to go there and bring other people with me. So I'm excited about this.
I love it. Look, I don't want to say I'm skeptical about Cronenberg, but the last couple of Cronenberg features we've seen have been a little too out there for me. And I've kind of heard similar rumblings about this one. That being said, I love Guy Pearce. I will go see this. Like, I'll pretty much go see anything that guy does. Like, even if people could say it's the worst thing ever, and I'd probably go check it out. But Shrouds seems to be split, just like everything. For every review I've heard that's bad, other people have said totally rips, super creative. Cronenberg still got it. I don't know. We're going to find out more about the Shrouds. We will almost inevitably watch it on the show. If you want to check out that review when we get to it in the future, hit the subscribe button. Stick around. Come on. Hang out. Throw a like on it, and we'll come back for you when we cover it. A couple more. Andy, what do you got?
Last one that I'm doing today is Materialists from writer-director Celine Song, who of course did Past Lives from a couple of years ago. That was Oscar-nominated film. Heartbreaking. Celine Song loves to kind of put people close to each other and have it not quite work out. That's such a great film. Materialist stars Dakota Johnson as Lucy. She is a New York matchmaking high-end or kind of high society men and women. You're looking for this kind of man, I can find you one. And she's celebrating 9 weddings having brought people to marriage 9 times. When she meets Pedro Pascal's character, who's a very wealthy New York socialite, he's juxtaposed with Chris Evans, who like works for the catering company at one of the weddings she's at. So you got is she going to go with the wealthy guy or the poor guy? Who knows? This looks like a very generic setup, but because it's Celine Song, it's going to be a lot more than that. It looks like just a 2000s rom-com, but I promise you that there's more to this. It looks generic, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good test of Celine Song, the writer, because we've seen Celine Song, the director, but she did not write Past Lives. This she's writing and directing. And the source material for this certainly seems a bit more, I guess, materialist, right? Appropriately. But like the direction looks solid. The visuals look fun. Like the cast looks good. I don't know. We're gonna find out how thin it really is, I guess, when it comes out. But for what I see here, like, I'm interested. Yeah, I like Past Lives. I'll check out Materialists. Why not? Right? Like, who knows? Maybe there's some magic here that hasn't made itself apparent yet. I think it'll be a good time. Hey, who knows? Might even get a quality Chris Evans performance. Watch out. Yeah, that be a surprise. One more to talk about on the show this week before we get to Electric State. We got to talk about Happy Gilmore too. And I'm taking the summary on this because I am kind of the Happy Gilmore fan. Not that Andy doesn't like it, fine, but like, dude, I'm real smug about that first one. I think Christopher McDonald as Shooter McGavin is like so a truly incredible movie villain. Happy Gilmore 2 is the hotly anticipated sequel from Netflix and Adam Sandler that picks up on Happy Gilmore, right? The star golfer, a man who could drive 450 yards. Happy has won some tourneys since the events of the first film, but now appears to be pretty washed out. That is up until he decides to get back in the game, much to the delight of his friends and the non-delight anger of his villains, mostly Shooter McGavin and probably some other people here. Dude, we got everybody back for this. Adam Sandler's back, Ben Stiller's back, Christopher McDonald's back. Looks like a great time. It's gonna be a good time on the golf course with Happy Gilmore 2, and of course, it'll have all of the trappings of Adam Sandler's modern Netflix dealings, which is, you know, it's an Adam Sandler movie, right? I don't think this is going to be good. For sure. I will still watch the whole thing. I think it's going to be bad, and I'm going to watch it beginning to end, and then I will probably come on this show and talk about what works and what doesn't. In the meantime, Andy, what do you think of the trailer for Happy Gilmore 2?
So I'm not a huge Sandler fan, but his 90s comedies did really hit the mark, and this is definitely a nostalgia piece for me. So I'll definitely watch it. I'm really interested in the cast is stacked, and a lot of these people that it doesn't say what their character is, so it's probably going to be some fun things. For instance, Margaret Qualley, Benny Safdie, Bad Bunny, Nick Swardson, Travis Kelce, like a bunch of real life golfers. Like this is going to be really stacked. Maybe it's just going to be a cameo circus, but it's going to be interesting because none of those people were in the trailer. Like Margaret Qualley not in the trailer, Travis Kelce not in the trailer. So I'll watch it definitely. I mean, it's on Netflix. I'm interested to see where it goes.
Yeah. Hey, look, just give me more Shooter McGavin, all right? He's probably in one scene. It's fine. If he's in anything more than that, I'll be happy. It'll be great. Speaking of Netflix, we got to talk about this next movie. This one is a challenge, and I'm looking forward to talking about it. I'm going to be taking the summary, so please excuse me, clumsy delivery. The movie is The Electric State.